Have you ever stood before a creature that would make a 20-story building bow? A creature that has been around since the time of the ancient Roman Empire. Still standing there, reaching up into the sky, whispering secrets from thousands of years ago. On this earth, there are green giants like that. Ancient trees so large that they surpass our imagination. They are not just trees. They are witnesses of time, symbols of the power of nature and immortality. 1. General Sherman, the largest living giant on the planet. If there is one creature on Earth that can make people fall silent, look up and be absolutely amazed, it is the General Sherman, the largest sequoia in California's Sequoia National Forest. This is not just a tree, but a living record of nature, a wooden monument that has stood tall for millennia. General Sherman stands nearly 250 feet tall. Its trunk is enormous in diameter, with a volume of over 450 cubic meters, making it the largest tree in the world by volume. To put that in perspective, just one branch of General Sherman is larger than most other mature trees on the planet. It is like a green city, a kingdom standing still in the middle of the jungle. The amazing thing is that, despite being over 2,000 years old, General Sherman continues to grow. Every year, it expands, grows taller, and its rings thicken. It has witnessed so many events in human history, from the conquests of the Roman Empire, to the first inventions of the Renaissance, to the modern technological age. And yet it stands there, silent, unchanging, amidst all the changes. Looking at the General Sherman, one not only sees its size, but also feels its resilience. Its bark is dozens of centimeters thick, helping it resist pests and fires. Its giant roots cling tightly to the ground, connecting with a network of roots of other trees, creating a strong symbiotic system. It is this silent solidarity that has helped the entire forest survive thousands of years of storms. Standing at the base of the General Sherman, one becomes a speck of dust. Its shadow covers the ground like a giant dome, while its branches stretch up as if to touch the clouds. Many visitors have described the moment as a spiritual experience, when they clearly feel they are standing in the presence of something beyond understanding. A witness to eternity. General Sherman is a powerful reminder that all the cities, empires, and structures that humans have created will one day disappear. But nature, if protected, will stand still, continuing its story. And this giant sequoia tree is proof of that longevity. A green giant named after a general. But in fact, it is the undefeatable general of the earth. 2. Giant sequoia trees, immortal pillars of nature. Have you ever wondered how you would feel if one day you stood before a creature so tall that it dwarfed a 20-story building? In California, on the misty mountain ranges, there exist green giants called sequoias, giant ancient trees, living witnesses to the history of the earth. Over 100 meters tall, with a trunk diameter of up to 10 meters, the sequoia trees make people feel smaller than ever. For more than 2,000 years, they have stood there, silently witnessing the fall of the Roman Empire, witnessing successive dynasties falling into the past, witnessing humans from lighting torches with fire to conquering the sky with jet planes. And they are still alive, rising up into the sky, proud as immortal pillars of nature. The most amazing thing is its extraordinary adaptability. The sequoia's bark is more than half a meter thick, containing a compound called tannin, which helps it resist fierce forest fires. Ironically, fire, the tree's seemingly destructive enemy, is actually its ally in helping it thrive. Fire cracks open the hard shell, allowing the tiny seed to fall to the ground, encounter light, germinate, and begin a new life cycle. Standing under the cloud-like canopy of sequoia, you feel like you are in a sacred temple. The space is quiet. The wind blows through the leaves, creating deep and high sounds, like the ancient music of the earth. It is believed that just by touching the red-brown bark, you will feel the flow of time, of life that has existed for millennia. Sequoia is more than just a tree. It is a symbol of resilience, a reminder of the enduring power of nature. And when people look up at the top of the tree, where it touches the clouds, perhaps deep down, they wonder, can we learn from the tree's silence, patience, and eternity in the face of the endless flow of time? 3. Baobab trees, giant vases of the African desert. If the sequoia in California are pillars that reach the sky, then, in the arid lands of Africa, there exists another giant tree with a strange appearance that seems to come from another world. That is the baobab tree, the giant of the desert, with a trunk that swells like a giant vase, which can hold up to thousands of liters of water in its hollow core. The natives call baobab the tree of life, because in the harsh droughts, when the land cracks, when the river dries up, the baobab tree still stands there, standing firm like a green fortress. They not only feed themselves with stored water, but also become a source of salvation for humans and all species. The leaves are used as food. Its fruit is rich in vitamins and nutrients, and its sap can cure diseases. Baobab is a pharmacy, a food store, a hidden well in the heart of the desert. But the baobab is not only associated with life, it is also a witness to history. In the 18th and 19th centuries, when European colonists invaded, some giant baobabs were turned into human prisons. The hollow trunks were large enough to hold dozens of people inside. Those old wooden walls are still there, like silent reminders of a painful past. The strange thing is that the baobab tree's shape seems to defy all conventional rules. From a distance, people have the feeling that the tree's roots grow up to the sky, while its branches are stuck to the ground. This paradox has led the locals to weave many legends. In some places, it is said that the gods, out of anger, uprooted the baobab and stuck it upside down to the ground to punish its pride. Baobabs live for over 1,000 years, some even surpassing 15 centuries. In each grain of wood, each deep crack on the trunk, are dense layers of memories of time. People believe that, standing under the shade of a baobab, you will feel a calm energy, a breath that connects people with Mother Earth. In the harshness of the desert, the baobab teaches us a simple lesson. Strength lies not in growing tall, but in adapting, patiently accumulating, and sharing life when everything around is exhausted. 4. Deadvlei, the immortal dead forest in the middle of the Namibian desert. There are places on Earth that make us shudder. Not because of the rise of life, but because of the death that still stands there, defying time. Deadvlei in Namibia is such a land, a cemetery of ancient trees turned into a wonder, a surreal picture where dryness becomes eternal beauty. Deadvlei, which means dead marsh in Afrikaans, was once a fertile valley. About 1,000 years ago, rivers from the Naukluft Mountains poured into it, creating a lush oasis in the desert. Ancient camel thorn trees rose up, green against the red sand, a testament to the fragile prosperity of nature. But then, the desert moved in. The world's tallest sand dunes gradually encircled the valley, cutting off the water supply. The rivers dried up, the underground aquifers dried up, and the camel thorn trees died one by one. People thought they would collapse, rot, and disappear. But a miracle happened. Not a single tree trunk decomposed. After centuries, under the harsh sunlight and the absolutely dry climate, the charred wooden skeletons remained standing, as if frozen in a moment of time. Entering Deadvlei today is like entering a surreal dream. The ground is white and cracked, stretching out like dry glass. On it, The black, skinny tree trunks stand like immortal ghosts. Surrounding them are red sand dunes, more than 300 meters high, curving like walls of blood. And above, the sky is a cold blue. It all comes together to form a picture of contrast that is almost supernatural. Dead Valley is lifeless, but it attracts countless photographers, explorers, and dreamers. People come here not only to admire the scenery, but also to feel the cruelty of nature and the strange immortality that nature leaves behind. Each tree in Dead Valley stands as a silent witness. They tell us that life may fade, but memories remain. They remind us that death is not always the end. Sometimes, it is just another form of existence. Still, harsh, but eternal. When you stand in Death Valley, under the scorching sun, surrounded by bare trees, you will perhaps understand that, even in the most barren silence, nature knows how to create a beauty that makes humanity bow its head. 5. Mangrove forests, resilient warriors between salt water and mud. If sequoia or baobab trees give us a feeling of being overwhelmed by their height or massiveness, mangrove forests evoke a different beauty. Quiet endurance and resilience in the harshest conditions that nature can test. Mangroves grow along the coast, where the land meets the ocean, where the tides rise and fall each day, carrying both salt water and silt. Normally, salt water is the enemy of most plants, but mangroves become an environment that demonstrates extraordinary vitality. Their roots penetrate deep into the mud, both anchoring the tree and filtering nutrients. Some species develop aerial roots, growing above the water like breathing tubes, helping the tree inhale oxygen in an anoxic environment. The leaves have a special membrane to regulate and remove excess salt. Step into a mangrove forest, and you will see the gnarled trees rising from the water, their roots intertwined like a maze. It is not only a place where trees grow, but also a roof for hundreds of species of creatures. Fish, crabs, birds, and even rare aquatic species find safety in the forest's embrace. Every time the tide rises, the forest becomes a flooded city, and when the water recedes, it becomes a fertile land full of life. Not only do mangroves protect life, they are also a natural shield for humans. When storms hit, when tsunamis arise, it is these trees that stand up to reduce the power of the sea's fury, saving coastal villages. Thanks to them, the land is not washed away, the coast is not eroded, and humans have another chance to survive. Mangrove forests teach us a simple yet profound lesson. To survive, we don't need to grow tall enough to touch the clouds, nor do we need to swell to challenge the desert. Sometimes, just knowing how to adapt, knowing how to stand firm in a harsh environment, knowing how to share life with all species, that humility becomes an immortal strength. 6. Dragon's Blood Tree, the legendary blood drop on Socotra Island. In the middle of the Arabian Sea, where salty winds and harsh sunlight beat down on dry, rocky slopes, there is an island called Socotra. There, nature seems to have written its own chapter, where strange creatures appear that are found nowhere else on Earth. And at the center of that story, there is a special, mysterious tree with a name that makes people both curious and fearful: the Dragon's Blood Tree. At first glance from afar, dragon blood appears like a giant upside-down umbrella. Its dense canopy spreads out, creating a green canopy that shades a large area of land. Its sturdy trunk, rising from the dry rock, seems to defy even the harshest climate. The tree can grow up to 10 meters tall, live for hundreds of years, and seems to have been created to protect the small life below from the scorching sun of this isolated land. What makes the tree so mysterious is the sap that flows out when the trunk is injured. Neither transparent nor pale, the dragon's blood sap is a deep red, viscous, blood red, reminiscent of a legendary bleeding wound. Indigenous people have considered this sap a treasure for thousands of years. They used it as a dye, paint, medicine, and even in spiritual ceremonies. The sap was seen as a symbol of rebirth and healing. In many cultures, it is also called dragon's blood, a sacred liquid that can ward off evil spirits and bring protection. Today, beneath the dragon's blood canopy, visitors and scientists alike experience an indescribable strangeness. This is not just a tree, but a testament to the miraculous isolation of nature. In Socotra, flora and fauna have evolved in their own unique ways, separate from the rest of the world. And the dragon's blood tree is the most vivid symbol of that uniqueness. When you put your hand on the rough bark of the tree and see the red sap falling to the ground, you feel like you are touching a forgotten fairy tale. It is a reminder that nature not only nurtures life, but also the imagination, beliefs, and myths that have accompanied humanity for thousands of years. The dragon blood tree teaches us that there are wonders that cannot be measured by size or age. There are wonders that lie in the fact that even a small crack in the tree trunk is enough to reveal a mysterious world, causing people standing before it to bow their heads and listen. 7. Rainbow eucalyptus tree, a living picture painted by nature. While many giant trees amaze people with their height or longevity, the rainbow eucalyptus tree makes people's hearts flutter with the magical beauty of its bark. In the Philippines, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and some other tropical regions, this tree grows like colorful pillars, like living paintings, in the middle of the forest. The special thing about the rainbow eucalyptus is its bark. As the tree matures, the bark peels off to reveal the young wood underneath, which is bright green. Over time, the wood gradually changes color, from cool blue to deep purple, to bright orange, to fiery red. The entire tree becomes a constantly changing strip of color, like the invisible hand of nature is painting a new picture every day. Standing under a rainbow eucalyptus forest, you feel like you are lost in a dream. The towering, brilliant trees transform the surrounding landscape into an art gallery without the intervention of human hands. Sunlight filters through the canopy, touching each color patch on the trunks, making them glow like living torches. Not only beautiful, the rainbow eucalyptus tree also brings many benefits to life. Its wood is strong, used in construction and paper production. But perhaps its greatest value lies not in its material use, but in its ability to nurture human emotions. Each time the bark changes color, each time a new color appears, it is a testament to the endless creativity of nature, something that people can only admire and marvel at. The rainbow eucalyptus reminds us that beauty doesn't always come from grandeur or size. Beauty is sometimes just a subtle change, a symphony of colors flowing over time. And it's in that simplicity that nature shows us how amazing it can be. When we look at a tree that changes color with the seasons, we realize a truth. Beauty is not something that is constant. Beauty lies in constant change, and only by listening can we see the endless picture that the universe is painting before our eyes. 8. Populus euphratica, ancient warrior in the desert. In the heart of the arid deserts of the Middle East and Central Asia, where the sun is scorching and the soil is parched, there is a tree that has survived for thousands of years as a symbol of resilience. It is the Populus euphratica, also known as the desert poplar, an ancient tree with strength beyond imagination. From afar, the Populus euphratica appears strange. Its rugged, twisted trunks seem to have survived 1,000 battles with the sandstorm. Its green foliage glistens in the sunlight, sometimes reflecting a brilliant yellow in the fall, transforming the arid desert into a living painting. But the most amazing thing lies deep underground. Its root system can reach 30 meters, searching for underground water sources hidden under the thirsty sand. Thanks to this, the tree can survive the harshest summers, when all other life collapses. The tree does not exist for itself alone. The Populus euphratica sustains an entire desert ecosystem. Birds find shelter in its branches, and small animals find shade and food around its roots. When sandstorms blow, its trunk and tangled roots help prevent erosion, holding the fragile soil in place for life. For humans, its wood was once used to build houses and make tools, while its leaves and bark are valued in folk medicine. People call Populus euphratica the spirit of the desert, because it is not just a tree, but also a belief. In a place that seems dead, it proves that life can still sprout, can still cling and grow. Every crack on the trunk, every twisted branch is like a story about patience in the face of time and harshness. When you stand in the shade of Populus euphratica, amidst the dry heat, you will feel a quiet power. It is not noisy, not ostentatious, but durable and eternal, as if to remind us that, in the journey of human beings, sometimes to survive, we do not need to reach high to touch the clouds, but only need to be persistent enough to take deep roots to find a source of life in the dry end. 9. Kauri tree, giant from the time of dinosaurs. If America has sequoia, Africa has baobab, then in New Zealand, the primeval forests proudly possess kauri trees, silent green gods existing from the time of dinosaurs until today. In the Maori language, kauri is called the guardian of the forest spirit. And indeed, when standing in front of these giant trees, you will clearly feel that you are facing the eternity of the earth. One of the most famous trees is the Tane Mahu, which means, in Maori legend, Tane, the spirit of the forest and life, separated the sky and the earth to bring light to the world. Maori believe that Kauri is the embodiment of Tane, carrying within her the spirit of life, light, and the endless forest. Therefore, Kauri is not just a tree, but also a sacred part of Maori culture and spirituality. Wood. Today, when you step into a kauri forest, you will feel the cool air and the strange silence. Every step on the carpet of rotting leaves seems to take you back to the distant past, where dinosaurs once walked, where time seemed to stop to preserve ancient roots. When you touch the trunk of a kauri tree, you are not just touching the bark, but also touching millions of years of memories, where humans are just a small glimpse in the eternal flow of nature. Kauri teaches us a simple truth. Greatness comes not from speed, but from patience. A creature that has survived from the Jurassic period to modern times, overcoming all the events of the earth, is the clearest testament to the power of endurance. 10. Angel oak. Angel tree in the southern United States. In Charleston, South Carolina, there is a name that is spoken with respect by the people. Ang, the tree. Angel oak has lived for over 400 years. In each ring, it has witnessed the early days of European colonization, the fierce storms of the Atlantic, and the painful struggles of the people of the American South. And yet it stands, steadfast, shining like an old sentinel who has never bowed to time. What makes angel oak special is its giant branches. Some branches are up to 57 meters long, spreading out in all directions, curving down to the ground, and then reaching up to the sky like the living currents of nature. From a distance, the tree looks like a giant entity spreading its angel wings, embracing all those who seek its shade. The shade area that the tree covers is up to more than 1,600 square meters, enough to turn this place into a natural temple. But angel oak is not only beautiful because of its shape, it also carries stories of memories. It is said that, during the time of slavery, there were souls of slaves who hid under the tree to find shelter, to find freedom. And those souls later appeared as angels around the tree, to protect it, to keep it alive. Therefore, the name angel not only refers to its shape, but also to the soul associated with human history. Today, Angel Oak is a meeting place for visitors from all over. Many come just to sit quietly under the tree's shade, listening to the wind blowing through the branches like whispers from the past. Others put their hands on the rough bark, as if wanting to feel the ancient breath that still lingers. And almost everyone leaves with an indescribable emotion. Because the tree is not just a tree, but a part of collective memory, a symbol of the connection between nature and people. Angel Oak reminds us that strength is not always about reaching high and touching the clouds. Sometimes, strength lies in being expansive, in the ability to embrace everything around us and protect it. And it is in that embrace that nature shows us love and endurance.